Good morning, good afternoon, whatever fucking time it is. How the hell are ya? Fuck's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I forgot to grab some water, so I'm gonna do that now. Whoever's watching this is pretty fucking lucky, if I'm not gonna lie, because I was not gonna set the podcast up this well. I was just gonna do a shitty setup, and then I was gonna fucking call it a day. Shitty lighting, shitty everything, but I ended up setting it up pretty nice, actually, so you're lucky. I'm just kidding. Nah, it's important to me to get this shit on par. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be lazy and have it fucked up. I'm pretty fucking tired, to be honest with you. But we got to get the podcast out. It's the number one thing, and I didn't do one last week. But that fucking video I uploaded, the Shop Cat dude, it's kind of insane because it took off as the most successful video on this channel with 14,000 views, dude, which is pretty insane. I know it's not crazy, like a million or nothing like that, but for my channel, it's fucking insane. And it bumped the channel up like 8 subscribers, which is pretty awesome. Now, how many of those subscribers are Chinese bots? I have no fucking idea, but it's still pretty badass that it did that. Cover up the time there. I had to call 911 for the first time today. It was pretty fucking insane because, well, every day at work's been pretty fucking normal, dude. Like, you go there, you do what you're told, knock this wall down, pull these windows out. You get instruction on what you're supposed to do, and you fucking go and do it. You get it done, and you fucking go back for more direction once you've cleaned the mess up and done everything you need to do in that area. But like knocking walls, we were doing that today. I was fucking using the sledge for the first wall, dude. We didn't have um a hammer drill, which is basically it's like it looks like a drill, but it's got like a bit on the end, and it like drills into the mortar joints that hold the block together so that you could take the block out piece by piece. Without that, all you have is a sledgehammer. So I was beating the shit out of a wall when I first got there, dude. It was awesome. I love doing that. But by the end of the day, like right now, dude, I feel cooked. Like I'm fucking done, man. And I did leg day a couple days ago at the gym. So my legs are cooked up. They've been cooked these past couple of days. My fucking body's just it's cooked up. But what was I gonna say? So we got most of what we needed to do done today. And then I walked over and I was helping these two other guys that I work with get this other wall finished up. And then we just start hearing screaming, dude. And it was like a grown man screaming for his fucking life. Like, ah! It was blood curdling, man. And so my coworker like perked up a little bit. I looked at him, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then he just fucking was like, yep, that's it. And he just bolted. And I fucking bolted along with him. And the other guy that was with us had his earbuds in. So he seen us two bolt. And then he fucking came with us. And the mini excavator that we were, or the plumbing guys were using at work. Okay, so I got to add some context. I'm sorry. So these past couple of weeks, we've been cutting floors, jacking them up, getting rid of the rubble so that plumbing guys can come in and do their thing, fucking dig a hole, put pipes in there, pipe it up, whatever the fuck plumbers do, I don't know. That's all they do is pipe it up. But so we got this flooring cut, and we cut a section out, about a 2 foot section down most of where we're at right now, which is the Charles City Police Department / City Hall. It was like a half and half thing. So we had to cut a whole section down there. Mind you, it would have been fucking way easier just to demo this whole building and fucking restart it from scratch, but they didn't want to do that. So we're having to gut the whole inside. We took all the electrical out. We took all the plumbing out. We took everything out. And now we're fucking having to lay new shit down. So we needed a 2 foot 2 foot opening in the floor for the plumbers to come in, dig, and put new pipe down. And so in one of the rooms that we had dug this 2 foot hole, there was like just enough space for you to put an excavator right there, all right? And I don't know what the plumber thought, or what, if the concrete flooring was tied into the wall or not, but it wasn't. So as he dug deeper and deeper, it kept wanting to slope more and more. And at some point, the concrete on the left hand side had given way. And so it was just this huge concrete slab that slid down because it was sand underneath it. And it had pinned his foot in between the concrete slab and the Bobcat excavator that he was using. And so that's what the scream was. And all three of us run over there. There's already fucking like 4 guys trying to push the excavator off of him, and they couldn't get it. And so we had thought that maybe pry bars would help. So I ran to grab pry bars, and by the time I got back, one of my other coworkers had used. He's tall. He's a tall guy, and he's pretty strong because he does rugby and stuff. And so he used enough leverage to push this fucking excavator up just enough to get his foot out. And we pulled that guy out. I called 911, and I called my supervisor before or after that. It's literally, the call to 911 was 12:53. The call to my supervisor was 12:54, and then ambulance, cops, fire department, everybody showed up, dude. It was kind of nuts, and it was the first time I ever had to call the police, and it was terrifying because like my adrenaline was going. I didn't know what to say at first when I got on the phone with him. I'm like, I don't know what to say. I'm like, I got to tell him where I'm at, what happened, and what we need and shit. And so I'm like, all right, we're at the police department, the old police department construction site, and somebody got their foot pinned. And I just rambled to them, and they're like, bet, we're going to send somebody out. And I'm like, all right, bet. It was a pretty crazy experience. I smashed my little fingy. Let's see if we can smash my little fingy also today between a sledge and a brick, but that's the least of the problems. But the guy, I think, was mostly all right. I think it's just his foot that got squished up. I think it's probably fucked up. His foot's probably not doing too great. But it was an insane thing, and it kind of shut down our whole job site for the day because we had to help this guy get out, and then we had to fill the holes in that they had dug so that we could get the paramedics and shit back there, and then we fucking had to clean up more so that, because OSHA's probably going to show up tomorrow, because we had an incident on the site, they got to show up. And so it was just a whole thing. It kind of threw our whole day off. But I was kind of glad that we didn't have to go back to working hard, because my body's cooked up, dude. Like, my legs are sore as shit. My fucking back kind of sore. My arms are sore. Like, construction is not an easy job, but it's kind of awesome because I'm finally getting to use the muscles that I've been training in the gym. Like, I'm using my biceps and triceps and shoulders and my legs. I'm using my back. I'm using my whole core. And it's awesome because if I was still my fat self and like lazy self that I was before, dude, I would not be able to do what I'm fucking doing. And I actually hit last weekend. Chance and I had went up to his parents' house, and it was an amazing experience for me. It was fucking sick. I got to ride in his dad's Corvette. I got to fucking go to the gym that they had trained at, and this guy there, who he makes YouTube videos. He owns the gym, and he's a really good fucking guy. Chance always says that he's like if he's built like a cinder block house or whatever. He's built like a brick house. He's a tiny guy, but he's built like a brick house, and he's strong. And he fucking helped me get my form for benching under or the right way, because I could not bench correctly. And I think I've mentioned that on the podcast before, because I was using too much upper body, and I knew I just didn't know how to fix it. And being there, it took the guy like 10 minutes to fix my form, because like I didn't notice I was turning my head to make sure I racked the bar correctly. And he's like, "Why are you turning your head?" And I'm like, "That's a good fucking question. I don't know why I'm turning my head." And he helped me get my form down. And then I benched 205, which maybe that's not too crazy to anybody else, but that's pretty nuts to me, because I went up like 50, 60 pounds just by correcting my form, because I knew my form was incorrect. And using more of my legs and my fucking my lower and upper body together, obviously, as you're supposed to bench, I could do a lot more than I thought I could, and it was fucking awesome. And I got to ride in his dad's Corvette, and then they had like family time, dude. It was pretty fucking sick there because like we played a card game together, and I've never really done that with my family where we all sat down in the evening time once everybody was home and did something together as a family. Like we ate sometimes, but not usually together. I mean, unless it was a holiday or something like that. My family's just always been independent to where we never really have time for each other. Oh, I'm busy. This happened, that happened. So it's like we never really sat down like that. And it was a sick experience to have just doing that. And then we we did some shopping because it was his sister's birthday, so I got a couple new books. One's about psychology and one's about unlocking intuition. And I'm gonna have to read some of that tonight actually, and I'm probably gonna try to rep out some pull-ups also. So I was supposed to go to the gym and do a back day, but I'm fucking beat, dude. I'm beat the fuck up. And that's how I feel every day when I get off work, dude. I feel beat the fuck up. But it paying the bills, and I'm getting my financial shit under wraps, I think, because I'm finally having a steady paycheck and I know what to do with the money now. So I think I'm going to be in a position where I'm going to be able to do what I need to do and pay what I need to pay. Especially the guys and I at work are trying to formulate a new plan where we're not all driving separately, because ideally you'd have a work vehicle to drive in, but the company I'm working for, they don't want to spend the money on fixing these vehicles that they have or buying new ones. So we've been driving our own vehicles. But the thing is, we've been driving an hour for some of us, a couple of us, an hour and a half for somebody else, and then like half hour for the other two guys. And we're burning a lot of fucking extra fuel and burning a lot of money in everybody's pockets doing that. So one of the guys I work with, he's a really cool guy. He fucking was in the military. He was a Marine, and he went to Iraq a couple times. And this guy does not put up with bullshit. And so he's going to take one of the company vehicles tomorrow, and whether it runs or not, we're all fucking getting picked up. And I think that's a fair deal because, I mean, why the fuck should we be? I'm not waking up in the morning by free. I mean, it is free will to a certain extent, but I also am doing it for this company and doing it for this job. And so I think it's a fair deal for us not to drive our own vehicles because you're putting wear and tear on your own vehicle. And it doesn't sound like that big of a deal if like you're not doing it, or if you only have to do it once or twice, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're doing it every single day, oil changes, tires, brakes, fucking gas, all this shit you got to do to your vehicle, the maintenance becomes more and more frequent because you're driving a vehicle every single day. So you need to fucking have that shit on lock and key, or else it's not going to work out. And this company unfortunately doesn't understand that, but I think we're going to get it figured out tomorrow. But if we do that, that'll free up even more money than I'll have, and that'll be fucking awesome. And I think that everything's going pretty smooth. I mean, I know there's going to be downsides. Like I didn't even talk about it. I forgot, but I didn't really forget. I just been trying not to think about it too much. But my dog passed away a couple weeks ago, maybe last week. Yeah, last week my dog passed away, and it was on Tuesday or Wednesday. One of the 2 days. No, Thursday. It was on Thursday. And I had that dog my whole life. I had that dog since I was 2 years old, I found out, dude. Like, I thought I was like 7 when I got that dog. That dog was with me since I was 2 years old, and it lived like 19, 20 years. So that's why I kind of haven't been thinking about it either, is because you can't really be too mad about that dog passing away because it was 19, 20 years that that thing was alive. And dogs generally do not live that long. That's a long ass fucking time for a dog. And I was really sad about it, and I still kind of am. And every time I go to my dad's house, it's like a reminder. I look at where we buried her, and I look inside the house. There's only 2 dogs there now. It's like, damn, this is kind of nuts. But I know that was one of the stressors where I wanted to drink, but I didn't, and I'm on no alcohol again. I know it's only been a week and a half, so let's not get too wild, but I think I'm gonna be able to do it this time. And I know I've said that many, many, many times, but I was just treating everything like a child would, and I'm here to admit that and right my wrongs now. Like every time something stressful would come up or something would happen, I just drink, or like I didn't have enough money. Oh, I'm gonna drink. It's like a stupid way to solve your problems temporarily, and it's not solving anything really, because the stresses are still there. You're just getting fucked up and not thinking about it. And I realize that's not a very good way to handle your fucking issues, even though it's nice to drink it every once in a while, but I don't think it's very necessary. And I've been trying, as people know on who's watched this shit before, been trying for a long time to just get off of it completely. And I think I'm at that point. Because even when other people offer it to me and shit, it's like, why would I want to feel bad? That's the only thing it's gonna give me, is feeling bad, whether it be right now when I'm drinking it because I'm sad or lonely or whatever the fuck I'm feeling, or I fucking wake up the next morning feeling hungover and I feel like shit. And if I don't feel hungover, I'm gonna feel hungover at some point if I fucking drink more. And it's just like an inevitable fucking problem that you're putting into your life. That's just not necessary to be there. You're gonna feel better without it. You're gonna think better without it. I feel like I'm finally making mental progress in my brain. I've been trying to make mental progress for a long time, and I know it's been slow, and it's been really hard. Like you got to push constantly, constantly, and your brain's always going to push back at you because, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? Oh, maybe this happened, or something happens in life where you're stressed or sad or whatever the fuck it may be. But last weekend, not last weekend, but the weekend before, I had drank. I started drinking at 6 o'clock on Friday, and then I drank till I fell asleep, obviously, and then I woke up on Saturday still drunk. And for whatever reason, whether it be impulsivity or just stupidity, I just started drinking again because I don't know why. I really don't know why. Because by the end of that day, I felt fucking awful, and I just didn't fuck with it anymore. Like you do what I've done, like drank the amount I've drinking or drank. It's just not worth it anymore at a certain point because it's only fun for so long before you start to fucking have a problem with it, and then your body thinks it needs it. And I was noticing that, and I thought it was the amount of zins I was doing, because I do pack a shit ton of zins still, because zins are like my zins keep me fucking sane throughout the day. But um I thought the amount of zins I was packing every day, like 7 or 8 of them, was how much I pack, which isn't great, and I got to work on that next. I know, but I thought that was causing my gums to recede because my gums were receding bad. And if you've never seen or you've never heard of receding gums, it's like when your gums start to pull away from your teeth. And I thought that that was because of the amount of zins I was packing, because it can cause your gums to recede. But I just started thinking about it one day while me and Chance were driving, and looked it up if alcohol could cause receding gums, and sure as shit it could. And I think that the amount of I was drinking and the amount and the frequency of which I was consuming the alcohol was causing my gums to recede rapidly. And my mouth looked terrible, dude. And I don't go to the dentist very often, but if I did, they'd probably tell me my I might need surgery or something because my gums looked so bad. And they've already started to fix themselves now. But I didn't even consider it that, oh, the amount of sugar and the amount of poison within this alcohol is gonna fucking damage my gums and damage my teeth severely. And I didn't, for some reason, I didn't put two and two together. Oop, my bad. But I did now, and I just don't want that in my life anymore. And I know I've said this before, but I'm gonna just keep pushing because I'm working with the guy. When I first started this job, there was a guy that I worked with for like a month straight. He's a cool ass dude, and he's a recovering addict, and I've talked about him on here, I think. But he's giving me like new motivation. Like, no, you don't need to do this. And he tells me, he's like, oh, I've had fucking plenty of urges to do it. I just don't. And it's like this, the amount of time I've put behind me without using these substances, regardless of the substances he was using, I don't want to fucking fail again. And he doesn't want to like disappoint his family and do all this shit. And it's kind of just, it's bringing a new light to my brain to where like I don't want to fucking be in that kind of situation anymore. I don't feel the need to drink. Like it's not that weed and shrooms. I don't consume them as often as I was consuming alcohol, but it's a lot safer anyway. And it's not necessary to be poisoning yourself all the time just to blunt yourself down to life's problems, because it doesn't really get rid of the issue. It just prolongs them. And like I've talked about before, your stress level, maybe it's up here or it starts off down here and then you just keep using alcohol. You think it's still down here, but it's really up here. So you get off the alcohol and your stress level just jumps. And I've gotten the urge to drink and I've had the means to do it, but I just didn't. And I don't want to no more. And um it's made me feel a lot better. Like, yeah, I'm stressed out, but like I'm gonna be stressed regardless. It's just my natural state, I think, is just stressed. Cause I'm always worrying about shit, like what could happen or this could happen, that could happen. You never know what could happen, and so I just worry about things. What are we at here? 21. 21. Oh fuck. Oh man. Every time I get off the job, dude, or every day I come home, I just feel like I was beat the fuck up. I feel like somebody whooped my ass, dude, and I'm just sore as shit. And I think I'm finally figuring all this shit out. Like, not everything, obviously. You're not gonna figure everything out, but the problems that I've been dealing with lately, these past couple of years, I think I'm figuring them out. And then there's gonna be new problems that arise, and I'm gonna have to figure those out. And then there's gonna be new problems that arise, and I'm gonna have to figure those out. Life's just a never-ending revolving door of problems. And you just that's why we got to where we're at right now, is because our level of adaptability is so much higher than any other animals. And I think we've gotten to a point where we don't want to adapt because people want to stuck in their ways. Oh, this is me, and this is how I've been for 40 years, 50 years. But I think we have to retap into our ability to adapt to survive all this chaos that's going on. How else do we survive besides adapting and learning to live with what's new? And I really like construction from that aspect because it's just constant adaptation. You're constantly having to adapt. Oh, this problem comes up, or you have to go do this now. This happens, and it's a constant way of just making sure you're adapting and making sure you're doing the things the best way possible. And I've noticed that I try to do things the hardest way possible sometimes just because I know it's going to be the quickest. And the quickest and hardest way possible might not be the best way to do it. You might hurt yourself or you might strain yourself in a way that you didn't need to. And it's just, that's what life is. You just have to put constant thought into everything you're doing. And it becomes tiring and it becomes taxing on the body and the mind and the spirit. You don't always want to do it. But what I've learned is that like once you hit that bed at night, like you work your ass off all day long. You fucking do what you got to do. You do your dishes or you fucking do your laundry. You get shit figured out. And then you hit that bed at the end of the night knowing everything's completed and everything's done. The day's out. That is the best goddamn feeling you'll ever get in your goddamn life. Just hitting that bed, knowing you accomplished something that day, just fucking being able to sleep and knowing, just knowing that you didn't fucking fuck off all day or do stupid shit or make a mistake. I mean, you probably made mistakes throughout the day, but not a mistake that would cost you a huge chunk of time or a huge chunk of your life. And that's a good feeling. That's a good feeling to get to the end of the day knowing that you've accomplished something and you had a purpose and you achieved something. I mean, whether it be physical exertion or mental exertion, or you fucking learn something new, or whatever the fuck may be, dude, you gotta fucking make sure that you're trying to improve yourself constantly every single day. And it's not gonna be apparent all the time to where you're gonna be like, oh, I fucking did it. You know, you're not always gonna be fucking knowing that you made progress that day. But the thing is, if you just try every single day, 1% to get a little better, that's what that book that's what the book Atomic Habits by James Clear is about. It's about doing small things every day, the size of an atom. You just make improvements every day the size of an atom. And by the end of the year, that atom will accumulate into maybe a fucking building or a car. There's atoms accumulate into everything that we see, this table, this chair, this ottoman, my phone, this couch, me. Everything is made out of atoms. So if you try to make a little tiny change every single day, you will get to a point where you have improved an immaculate amount by the end of the year or by the end of the month. And that's what I'm trying to do with my finances right now and not drinking. Is I'm trying to make a little change every single day in my head. Okay, this and that and this and that, and you just got to give and take and try to fucking make this shit work. And watching Caleb Hammer has helped me a lot with the financial aspect of it. Just because he's always talking about the snowball effect and ways of how you're stupid spending and ways of clearing up debt. And it just helps a significant amount. And I don't know where I'd be without technology and the internet these days. If I was born back in my parents' time or my grandparents' time, I don't know exactly where I'd be at 21 or 20. I'm almost 22 now, but I don't know where I'd be. I'd probably be off somewhere doing stupid shit. I mean, the amount of books I'd have to consume to get the knowledge that's inside of my head, it's just an astronomical amount that I just probably couldn't have done by the age of 21. Because I've watched so many videos and so many podcasts and read so many books that I just don't think that I could have accumulated this much knowledge in this much time. And I'm very thankful that I was born in this time. As hard as it is and how much bullshit we deal with all the time, I'm glad that I wasn't born in another time because I think I can genuinely make something happen in this time. I want to help people. That's all I want to do. I want to help people physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, in whatever ways I can help people. That is my fucking goal in life. It's the only reason I strive for resources, man. Resources, what I mean by resources is money, views, more time, so I don't have to work. I'm striving for resources and skills so that I can fucking use those resources and skills to help others. And I don't know what I'm going to be able to do yet because I've got some small ideas, but I don't want to start small. That's my problem. And I know I'm going to have to. And my starting small is getting my financials in order because I've not been the best with money. I've said that over, I don't even know how many podcasts I've said that on, but I think I'm figuring it out now. And Bego having no hours didn't help very much, but I'm getting it. I'm getting it. And I think that I'm going to be able to help people. I don't know in which way I can yet, besides doing this podcast. That's why I do it, is because I don't know in what other way I can fucking share information and try to get ideas out there and try to help people change their minds on things and think in a different way. Like, I'm not trying to change people. I'm not trying to take who you are away from you. I'm just trying to give you new ideas and new information and new insight into ways of being. That way, maybe you can look at your own life and be like, oh, maybe I can tweak this here and tweak that there, make it better. That's all we can do is just tweak our lives to make it as good as possible. It's not going to be perfect, but we can alleviate stress or alleviate fucking physical ailments by working out, or strengthen your body and your mind by learning and working out. And you could do all kinds of shit. And that's the entire reason I made this thing. I didn't know what I was trying to do when I started it. I was trying to teach people. And that's still kind of what I'm trying to do. It's just I'm not trying to do it in the same way. I'm just trying to have a conversation, and whatever people take away from the conversation, then great. But whatever you don't fucking sweat it, because I'm gonna make another one next week. I'm gonna make another one the next week. And I'm gonna make another one the next week. And I'm just keep doing this, motherfucker. I don't know what the fuck's gonna come out of it or what's gonna happen, but I hope significant amount of things happen. Like, I hope we can make some money, just to fucking put more money back into this thing, have a studio somewhere, and then have fucking nice microphones set up. Maybe have an audio guy that knows the fuck he's doing, because I definitely don't. And once we've beefed up the podcast, made it significantly better, and gained more viewers from that, all the money can go back into the podcast and saving this fucking planet, to be honest. Like, let's get water to people who don't have water. Let's get food to people who don't have food. Let's get fucking everything we need, like, in order. Let's get the homeless off the streets. Let's fucking farm for everybody in an ethical and moral way, so that we all have good food to eat. Let's fucking make sure people in other countries are getting paid fairly. And I don't think I can tackle all these problems by myself. I'm not delusional. I think that I can play a part, and I can do a part in trying to get this shit back in order. And if I can give resources to other people, if I have an excessive resource and I can give out to more people, oh, Chance, here's some money for this. Here's some money, woo, woo, woo. Here's some of this, here's some of that. And then maybe I can make more connections and talk to more people. That's my idea, dude. I'm not trying to fucking be Superman out here. I'm trying to connect everybody's mind like a web, if that makes sense. The human spirit and the human connection is a powerful thing. And if we can all connect together and get one common goal that we're trying to achieve, I think that we can fucking make something happen. And that's what I'm trying to do, man. I'm trying to make some shit happen. I don't know what it is yet, but as a team, I think we can get it done. It's never been just me. I just make the videos, man. All the information I find, all the people I talk to, all the fucking experiences I've had because of other people, they all play a part into what the fuck I'm doing here, and it's never been just me. And I don't think I could do it without it. I know I couldn't do it with just me. It takes people watching and people helping and people just giving me information and putting up with me, to be honest. Just, it's a lot of work and a lot of people behind the scenes and shit. And it's not just me ever. It's other people just working, grinding, grinding, grinding. And that's all it is. It's the grind. And we're just fucking trucking. We're trying to see what the fuck we can get done. You know what I'm saying? We got people that don't want to be in poverty our whole lives. We've got so many problems, and I think that we could fix them. We could make a significant dent at least. We're at 33, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, oh my God. It's awesome when you learn how to swing a sledgehammer the proper way. Like, if you're just swinging it like this, like as much as you can, maybe you put your whole body into it, you're still not swinging it to its fullest ability, because you start up here like this, and you slide down as it's swinging, but keep a good grip on it so it doesn't swing out of your hands, obviously. But if you put the whole rotation of your body into that, plus you're putting the leverage all the way down here, because you're guiding it and then you're fucking holding it, and you're just going into the swing full fucking force, and it's amazing what you can do in that fucking way. I'm itching my leg down here, but it's amazing because sometimes you can knock a whole block off just by fucking a good swing, and it's so satisfying. But it's tiring, man. Like, today I went in with 2 hoodies and a coat. And by the end of that fucking wall being down, I was only in a shirt, dude, because it was hot as shit after. Because you're exerting so much energy. My watch says, I don't trust the watch, to be honest, but the watch says that I burned 733 calories a day, and I worked out for 28 minutes, stood for 12 hours, 15,000 steps, 7.86 miles. My heart rate, let's take a look at it. my heart rate right now. Let's find out. Just give it a second to read. 67. That's pretty goddamn good. My range today was my lowest was 62, my highest was 180. My resting is 65. My walking average is 105. So that's not bad. My heart's pretty healthy. I always get worried about my heart, especially with pounding as many zins as I do and the amount of alcohol I was consuming. I worry about my heart, but I think it's going to be all right. I just got to take care of myself better. Stop fucking doing stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know why, dude. Because you obviously you don't plan to do stupid shit. Your brain just takes you on a little adventure. And it's like, I didn't want to do this stupid shit, but I guess I'm doing it. I'm probably gonna end this thing right at 40 just because I'm tired. And I want to go and do some shit with Chance after this. But we're 4 minutes out from hitting 40, and I don't know what else to talk about either. Just because I've exhausted all I've had to exhaust. But I guess I could talk about a little more when my dog passed away. I knew it was coming because she had been sick for a couple weeks, or at least a week. She wasn't getting up to drink. She wasn't going to the bathroom. But we knew it was coming for a while because her hips have been giving her problems. She's an old dog, obviously, but the last week she just wasn't doing anything. And then my brother showed up there to let them out to go to use the bathroom, and she was just laying stiff as a rock on the ground. And as soon as I was in the work truck with my coworker because I was riding with him, and my brother called, didn't answer. Sister called, didn't answer. And then my sister texted me to call her ASAP, so I called her right back after I got that text, and I'm like, "What's up?" And then I found out, and then I called my brother, and I drove straight to my dad's house from getting back from the job site because I didn't want my dad to have to go through that shit by himself. So I fucking went and I didn't want my brother to have to go through it by himself either. So I fucking went. I fucking started digging a hole immediately as soon as I got there because that's probably the hardest part is digging the hole to put her in. So I fucking just started on the hardest part and I was like, all right, let's start fucking digging. And and then my dad got there, we picked her up, we put her in the hole, we buried her and cleaned up the house. And that week was pretty stressful as well. Last week was pretty stressful just because the whole week I don't know what it was. I just had this creeping feeling of stress and sadness, and I thought it was from drinking the night before, but I think I was processing my dog's passing away without me like in my subconscious I was processing, and I didn't realize until after, I don't think, because like I was basically prepared for that moment. I knew it was coming for a long time, and mentally I just was ready. I didn't want her. I wasn't happy about it necessarily, but I was happy about the fact that she wasn't in pain anymore because I knew that dog was in so much pain. You could just feel it off of her, like the way she walked and the way she moved. You can tell she was not in her happiest state anymore. And once you're not in your happiest state due to age and fatigue, I don't think anybody should have to suffer through that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because life's stressful enough. We suffer enough throughout life. And here you are at an old age having to deal with suffering and knowing you're passing. And I'm glad that she just went through that pretty smoothly. I don't want any animal or person or plant even to suffer on this planet. And I always look at myself as like a soldier of God just because ever since I did mushrooms and shit those few years ago, I kind of just developed a mindset that we're all God's soldiers and we're all put here for a specific purpose. And maybe it's not, I'm not talking a standardized Christian God or Islamic God or Jewish God. I'm not talking about a specific God. No Hindi God, nobody's God. It's just God, dude. And maybe we don't use that word. Maybe we call it divine essence or the divine spirit of whatever the fuck is inside of us that makes us tick. Because once you see a dead body or a dead creature, you know damn well that something's not in there no more. You could feel it. And I think that we're all here put We're put here for a purpose, and we have to figure that purpose out. Some animals, like bunnies or like normal animals that aren't like us, that can't think the way we do, they're just here to fulfill their purpose of nature, you know. And we're here to for a higher purpose, I believe. Maybe, and I don't think it's higher than disregard all the other animals and things on this planet. I think we have to work with these other creatures and work with these other species to get our shit done. And there's no other way, because if we just get rid of nature completely, humans won't survive. We need water, we need food, we need clothes, we need everything. But I'm going to end this rant. I love you guys. Bye.